Hey, what's up, Wayne? Yo, Comex is moving. Comex is moving. You know, YouTube, when you go when you're on a video and then you see another video in the suggested, that's pretty interesting. So I was just sharing the link, but I saw something here that I want to save for later. What's up, everybody? Why's the chat so quiet? Do you guys want trades or not? So here on gold, I discussed through this week, if we had closures below 1907 basically, on the daily, we're looking really good here for moves down, right? So the candle on Monday closed right at that level, was a bit tricky. We had come down into 1903, which was some prior rejection area. And you know, now yesterday's candle has closed nice bearish below that 1907 level, below 1905. There are still issues. There's still issues here. 1900 is a extremely solid level, right? So we are possibly going to see some issues there. But overall, we've grabbed some nice liquidity on this daily candle to come and fill yesterday's wick. Now just zoomed out here on the daily, if we are holding below 1900s, you got some nice clean traffic down here to like let's call it 1960, right? You got a lot a lot of range moving down. Sorry, chat. You got a lot of clean traffic to the left there. You've got this wick to fill here to the left, down to 1885. That looks pretty good. 140 pips. That could even be a target for today. Now, another thing is you have FOMC meeting minutes later today. So we may not have the volume that we want to see. You know, that meeting minutes could potentially determine what happens to price from 1900. Are we going to see breaks below? Are we going to see rejections? So we're still in a very delicate area. Daily candle closure looks amazing, in line with the weekly candle close as well. You know, last week we closed below 1920, which was your weekly support there. Looking at those candle bodies. So this weekly candle so far this week has made complete sense. But we're coming into these rejection areas. Big news later on. I don't want to say big news actually. Meeting minutes is not the biggest market mover, but if there is some new information being brought to the table, so why I say new information is the meeting minutes is basically just going over what happened at the last FOMC meeting. So most times there's no new information being brought to the table. If that information has already been priced in, why would it have an impact? It won't, or not much. So that's why I say if there's new information, which is a possibility, with the CPI situation starting to get interesting, and yeah, we'll take it as it comes. I might even stream, what do you call it, meeting minutes tonight. But that depends how today's session goes here for New York. If we get nice trades with New York, what's the point of streaming tonight? So these were the bars that played out yesterday as we grabbed liquidity there with that news. Not looking for a massive move up, but just a counter trend idea here. Understanding we are failing to break 1900s, failing to come down and fill that wick. Discussed these ideas on the stream, but I actually ended up taking it after the stream. But just to show, you know, those ideas were there, those ideas were discussed. So I left that on the screen. This 30-minute candle is about to close. If we can get a closure below this support here at 1901, then I can start to look for some sells. We got a lot of bearish volume already. 30 minutes until the 4-hour candle closes. Right now, that's looking pretty good right there. So we had this previous 4-hour closing above 1905, and we came back down, broke those lows. So almost a little bit of a fake out by the looks of things of 1905. So if this current 4 hours closing below 1901, let's call it, then we can anticipate that continuation if we do get the breaks below 1900 to at least fill this wick down here from yesterday. If you're closing above 1902, sorry about that, let's change this. If we're closing in this zone or above this 4-hour support, you may be in a range and we may have a tough time with today's session. So let's see what happens here. 30-minute candle's about to close. You're right at that support. Mm. 30-minute closed above this level, so no confirmations there on the 30-minute time frame. May have to wait for the new 4-hour. Now if we do get closures below, what's also interesting here is 1903 is a very significant level, possibly more significant than 1901. We actually had closures below there. You know what, if we break this previous 5-minute low, you could start to see a push here. I was more interested in 1903 as a significant level there, but 1901 is tricky as well. But by the looks of things, if we break these lows, you could get that push to 1900. Stops would be about 15 pips. You got about 8 pips to 1900. It's very tight. But the idea is, you know, if we have enough volume here, you could be pushing down to fill yesterday's wick. Maybe even come down to the monthly lows, 1893. But I think I would like to see a deeper pullback, maybe a retest of 1903. Maybe wait for the 4-hour. Just wait for a little bit more information in and around this support area. So if we get closures below 1901 on the 4-hour, then what we can do is scale in and look for some entries on a 5-minute. Maybe look for a pullback to 1903, 1905. For now, I don't have any ideas for buys. You know, I was discussing the buy ideas yesterday in this area, just as a secondary bias, understanding that this is a rejection area, understanding that that wick came down with the news. We closed back above 1900. You know, so that was a counter trend idea. The bars right now for me don't make too much sense. It's not lining up the same as yesterday, really. You know, if you look at the structure on the 4-hour, although this candle hasn't closed yet, so things could change here. But this 4-hour candle is telling you a lot. If we're closing bearish, you know, just looking at this structure, we're forming lower lows, lower highs, and now you've got some structure on the 4-hour. So lots of information there on that 4-hour time frame for the continuations down. You know, overall, this is a pretty tricky range. Let's see a wick fall on the daily if it breaks the lows, which is a heavy rejection area. Yeah, I agree with that. We've tapped 1903 there. 1903 we can see is quite a significant level. All throughout pre-London and London session, you were respecting that level. Yesterday, you know, you had some fake outs from 1903, but the day before, you can see how perfectly you tapped 1903. That is actually the TP for that trade on Monday. It does not really get any better than that. Just gotta wait and see. Also, don't have crazy expectations for today. Could be a crazy day, could be a dead day. If there's no movement in this session, no real moves to take advantage of, then what I'll do is I'll stream the meeting minutes later on. USDs are hitting 20 this month. I'm not sure, bro. Probably dollar's looking pretty strong. I don't mind. Everyone who's been talking about BRICS and raving BRICS is taking over, my dad being one. BRICS is fucked. BRICS is so fucked. Don't bet against the dollar. And even if you wish for the dollar's downfall for whatever reason, for whatever selfish reason, the thing is, you know, if the dollar were to fail or crash, whatever, it will have repercussions for everybody. It's the world reserve currency. We'll all be fucked. But I think BRICS is in a terrible spot. China's crumbling. Russia's just... What is Russia, bro? Russia's a failure. Always the dads who speak about BRICS. Yeah, and he says, no, at least you're on the right side. You're on the right side of history. South Africa. No, mate. Look at our economy be fucked. Just like China and Russia. It's gonna take a very long time for BRICS to do anything that will destabilize the dollar. There'll probably be World War III before that happens. Genuinely. Interesting price action here. Your 30-minute closed below 1903. We had quite a steep pullback there. We respected previous 30-minute highs, right? And then that 1903 level, which has been very significant, we closed above on the 5-minute. But if this next 5 closes back below, you know, that's looking more like a fake out of 1903. Now, this is probably the entry I would have taken in the past, where I would have a sell stop on the break of these lows. Your stops are about 35 pips at that point. I don't mind taking something like this on a 5, where you got like a 25 pip stop. Looking at it like this. It's tricky though, it's a tricky area. Super tricky area. Yeah, chat. If we break the previous 5-minute low, I'm gonna be in these cells. I would actually prefer if we got a slightly steeper topic on this current 5. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, and I'm in there. Stop loss, let's call it 1904.6. You could have it above 1905 if you want a slightly safer stop. Very tricky in this area. Very, very tricky. We need to be careful. But there's nice volume here to the downside. We've had a nice pullback. We're seeing that the bearish volume is coming back into the picture here. So I'm gonna give it a shot. We need to see breaks below 1901 in the next 20 minutes, because like I say, the idea here is that we need the 4-hour candle to close below 1901. Slightly riskier entry in this area, this general rejection area. But I am anticipating potential for nice drops today, so I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. $19.85. I don't want to be excessive here, but that wick that I was discussing further to the left, like I say, is a potential target there. 1986. If we do get these bigger drops, it's completely possible if you're getting breaks below 1900 to get 100 to 150 pip move. I'm concerned you get a deeper pullback to 1905. But you know what, we had quite a steep pullback on the 30 already and respected previous 30-minute highs. So let's see. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have my stop loss. You know, I don't obviously want to be making a habit of moving my stop loss, but this 1905 level is a concern. I am concerned we get it tap into that area, so I'm gonna move my stop loss just above that 1905. But at least with this entry on the 5, you know, you can have that safer stop. If you had entered on the break at the low, you would have had a 50 pip stop. I wouldn't have taken the trade at that point. So your 5-minute is closing bullish. We're still below 1903. Depending on how this 5-minute closes, I may manage my position. So if we can break the previous 5-minute low, then, you know, I like the look of that. But if we close bullish on this 5, then it's tough. $15 also was closing there. Yeah, your 15 closed a bullish candle, but also still below 1903. First 15 minutes of the 30 minute, giving you that pullback, like I say, respecting previous 30-minute highs. This actually is really what I like to see. It's just, it's not as clean as I would like to see. But what we are seeing here is nice volume, clear volume, nice push to the downside. Coming into New York Open, you broke below the support from London session, and we've had a break and retest essentially of that support. So like I said, with this 5-minute closing above 1903, and then the next 5 closing bearish back below, we're looking at that as a fake out. Then this setup on the 5 where you've got a clear bearish candle at a area of interest here, the 1903, and then the next candle closes a weak bullish, and then we break those lows, looking for a continuation with the volume. So essentially it is just a break and retest of this 1903 support from London session. We just had a fake out. It is also tough being in this zone, all these rejections. We look good here. Last minute of the 5, starting to push bearish here. Would be nice if we could break the previous 5-minute low. There we go. Push, push, push. Close below this. $20 seconds. Can we close below 1901? Keep in mind these are also the previous 30-minute lows here at 1900.8. Once you break those lows, we're going to tap into 1900. 1900, you may want to go break even though. It's very close. A bit too close. Actually, not bad. 20 pips. Yeah, not a bad idea. Because you may see reactions off 1900. You may see some strong rejections. But beautiful 5-minute close below that level right there. I think we're looking good. I think we're looking pretty good. Last 10 minutes of the 4-hour candle. It's tricky. It is tricky. That 4-hour looks beautiful though. Really good. Just need to hold below 1901. A little bit of a rejection from 1900. Let's wait and see how the 5-minute candle closes. I think even a 5-minute closing below 1900 now, and you got that wick full. But you are seeing a bit of reaction there. Tough. You're sitting back at entries, just about. You know, if you want to close out close out like partials to manage the risk as it comes back there, that's an idea. You know, I like to give ideas for guys who are new as well. In this situation where you've been in a little bit of profit, you come back, you know, maybe you would have wanted to go break even as price came into that key level 1900, where we were anticipating potential rejections. Personally, I'm not doing anything just yet, but I like to give you ideas anyway, because at the end of the day, this is my trade. If you've taken a trade that may be similar to the trade I took, you know, maybe you want suggestions on risk management, because risk management is extremely important, and we all using different levels of risk here, you know, especially new guys, you may be risking a bit more than you should, whereas I'm pretty comfortable with what I've got risked on this position. And yeah, I think at this point I'm gonna just YOLO this one. Not YOLO, but I don't want to manage it too soon, you know. I don't want to take a break even and then we drop 150 pips. I'd rather take a small loss, try again later maybe. But this 5 is not really doing what I want. So last 5 of the 4 hour. We have closed bullish off 1900, so arguably a rejection. Just looking at the state of things on the higher time frame though, your 4 hour is extremely bearish here. You know, we're definitely going to close bearish on the 4 hour. Well, most probably going to close bearish on the 4 hour. And if we're closing below 1903 on the 4 hour, I'm happy to hold here. It is just tricky, you may get a pullback to 1905 as a top wick for the new 4 hour candle. Would be ideal if we were actually closing below 1901. But price action may just be getting funky coming into the new 4 hour. I'm just going to see what happens here in the next 5 minutes. I think if we close above 1903, that's going to be an opportunity to manage, because then there's a much higher probability we come up to 1905. And it's no surprise you're seeing some reaction at 1900. It's a very significant level. But you know, we're not seeing a massive push here. So if we can actually come and break this low on the next 4 hour, there we could be looking at that wick for on the daily. Tempted to add a position on the 4H low. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. That's actually not a bad idea. I mean, if you're adding anywhere to this position, that's the place, right? Even if on that added position, you're just looking for the wick fill. It's not bad. Risk to reward is not amazing, but I would be lowering risk on that position anyway. 4 hours about to close. Look at this 5 coming into the new 4 hour. New 4 hour. I think we might even just get a drop. Lovely, Ralph. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Hey, Con, what do you think, bro? Bit close to the 4 hour close. But I think it looks good. It's very enticing. Eesh. 5, no bottom wick. You've closed below support here. Only concern is a deeper pullback. But I'm looking at it as we've already had the pullback on the previous 30-minute. Look at those wicks. Look at those wicks up and rejections. 5-minute, we've had a pullback. If you break that low at 1900, we may just get that wick fill on the daily. Maybe even want to use a slightly tighter stop. Okay, so I've got a sell stop on the break of the lows here at 1989.8. That may get slipped. May get slipped. And then I'll just have my stop at 1902. I'm happy with that top wick. I don't need to see much more of a top wick. If we do, then I'm going to start to get concerned here that there's not enough volume. May get a deeper pullback. So keep in mind this idea here. I'm just going to put it to the side. This trade is either a feast or a drawdown state. Yeah, tough. Tough. 5 minutes about to close. Shit price action. Nah. I don't think you have the volume here, boys. Bullish on that 5. I'm gonna give it a couple seconds, but not too long. Not gonna sit in drawdown all day. That's one thing I'll say. If it's going against you, close the trade. Some guys want to sit in 100 pips of drawdown. With this sell stop idea here, for the break of the lows, I'm thinking to put it below the bullish 5 minute to just avoid slippage. So that's on the current 30-minute low. You know, if this 30-minute breaks its own low, I would anticipate that we break the previous candle low. So I'm just concerned if you've got a sell stop here on the break of 1900, you could get slipped quite badly. If you've got it a couple pips higher, you can avoid that slippage. But I don't know if that order will get triggered. I may have to manage this initial entry before we even see anything amazing here. You streaming tonight? Well, that depends. Depends how this trade goes, eh? If it's a good trade, then what's the point? I mean, if we can grab even 50 pips, I don't think it's really worth it to stream tonight. I was hoping we would maybe get a banger before the meeting minutes, but yeah, volume is pretty dead right now. It's tough here at 1900. With this low volume sitting above 1900, I don't like the look of it. Still very fresh into the new 4 hour, but like I say, I don't want to sit in too much drawdown here. So listen to what price is telling me. I think Honestly, I don't really want to see the previous 15-minute high being broken. I think that's not really going to make a whole lot of sense here for this trade idea. So you could even move your stop loss into above the previous 15-minute high. You know, you may get pullbacks to 1905, get stopped up with a small loss, but at least you live to trade another day, you know. 10, 11 pips is nothing. Close bearish on that 5. I got that sell stop at 1900.2. Stop loss is still at 1902 for this idea here. This would just be adding to the current position. I would go very low risk, half risk at least, looking to come and fill the wick from yesterday with a break below 1900. And then what you could do as well with breaks below 1900, or as we tap into 1900 again, is you can move your stop loss to entries here on this trade, the initial entry. You know, I think at that point, once we come into 1900 here again, I am anticipating that we break below and continue to push. That's the trade idea, right? So if we come into this level and reject, then with 18 minutes until NYC, I probably want to be out anyway. So I know that we tapped into 1900 once, came back to entry. Reason I didn't go break even at that point was we were still very fresh into the new 4-hour candle, and you know, we had this closure below, so we had the confirmation. But now that we've got some sort of pullback on the 4-hour, once we break these lows now after grabbing the liquidity on the new 4-hour, I don't want us to come back to entry. You get what I'm saying? And then at least you know that this initial entry is worst case scenario break even. And this added position is half risk with a 20 pip stop, 18 pip stop. You know, worst case scenario, you're actually losing like 9 pips. Not that bad. Best case scenario, 200 pips. "15-minute candle's about to close. Chart looks a bit messy here. It's a Biltong on the 15, eh? Back-to-back Biltongs on the 15. Back-to-back-to-back. Yeah, we gotta break this low though. Holy shit. Sorry. Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but I got slipped quite bad on that. I said holy shit because my entry actually dropped off the screen. I got slipped. Yeah, I got slipped like 10 pips. Fuck no. So good thing we went half risk there. Yeah, tough one, eh? Okay, so that first entry is back at entries. I'm gonna give it a second, but this is looking more like a rejection. Yeah, that was hectic. Okay. Yeah, my added position here hit stops at 1902. Okay, I'm gonna close this entry. I'm sitting right at entries, so break even there. No, I wasn't slipped 10 pips. I was slipped like 4 pips. So, yeah. That's slipped in my feed. Yeah, chat, you know what? I don't control slippage, but sorry guys. That is a tough one. It is what it is, but just manage your risk on these first entries. I've closed out full. So break even and basically negative 10 pips on that added position. I'm saying negative 10 because it was half risk, right? Fuck. But that's why you manage your risk. Unfortunately, you know, I had planned for that slippage potentially, but it didn't really make a huge difference. Hey. Orange folder. Orange folder caught me lacking. Shit. Chat, come on. Yeah, that was my bad, eh? Good numbers for the dollar. You could still get these trade ideas. But you got 10 minutes until NYC. So let's maybe see. Let's potentially give it another shot. The thing is, off 1900, yeah, you might see nasty rejections. And that didn't look great. So I wanted to get out of that initial entry there. Not bad though. Risk was managed. Did what we could. Full margin cells. Monkeys. Apes. It is looking a bit choppy. Choppy. I think at NYSE... Nah, it's looking choppy now. With the rejections from 1900 now, it's very tough. You're just in a range here. You guys know those 8 balls that you shake and then they give you an answer? Yeah, I was just thinking about that 8 ball. I think if you had to shake one right now, I think for the session it's saying outlook not good. Rejections at 1900, yeah. Those Wickful ideas look a bit chalked. We gave it a shot. You know, these initial entries were definitely decent. That second entry, the added entry, hence I said go half risk, did bite back. But you know, with this initial entry, even though it was within this higher time frame range, it made a lot of sense with a retest of the London support to push down to 1900. Where at that point, you know, we had opportunities then to manage the risk. So that's what we did here. Break even on that. And I mean, with the potential upside for that position, I would take it again and again. But that's the thing with adding to positions. They do get very tricky, and that's why, you know, I say lower the risk. Personally, I'm still practicing with these lower positions, but I must say, I'm very happy with how I managed this position today. You know, I had a very tight stop, or as tight as could be, half risk. I tried to account for the potential for slippage there. Still got slipped a little bit, but is what it is. So far, still been a decent week. Negative 10 pips on the day. But that orange folder caught me lacking. I think if I knew about that, I wouldn't have had those pending orders. Normally there's someone in chat who will say something beforehand. $200 MA came across the 365 MA. So buys and sells. Lovely. Yes. 4 hours still closed below that support. Yeah, very true. 4 hour does look pretty good here. It's just that 1900 is a monster. A monstrous level. You know, when you zoom out here, it's quite difficult to determine an exact area where we could see price really reject, you know. Got 1907, 1910, 1903, 1900 just being a psychological level. But if we have to just zoom out, right, and let's just say you're doing a higher time frame analysis and you're just roughly going over and you'd say, okay, this support here at 1900. So 1900 just being a major psychological level, the lows of quite significant higher time frame structure here, it's a very tough level. Without those breaks below now, it's getting tricky. You may see pullbacks to like 1905, form resistance there, and then start to see this move down. But the issue with that is you're back in the range, this choppy range, and to me it's just looking like a very low volume session. I think at this point what I would want to see is a break and retest below 1900. Issue with that is I don't know if you'll get a retest of 1900 today. I think if you do break, you're probably going to break with a lot of volume. But at this point with those rejections, you might not come back to 1900. We got 5 minutes until NYC. So let's see what happens. This candle looks like we'll probably close bullish. Back above that London support at 1903. So back in the range. Choppy session, yeah. Nico's feeding the fish again. Must be. Yo, when I saw that slippage on that position, I thought, fuck, here comes the daily wick for. Man. Hey, what's up, TJ? Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Okay, chat, give me 2 minutes. We got NYSE shortly, so I'll be back before then. We'll see what happens. You know, even with this good data, you got rejections of 1900. That just shows how strong of a level that is. We may even see something similar to yesterday. The issue is with buys. Obviously it's counter trend, but you've got a strong bearish engulfing candle on the 4 hour. Your daily is also bearish. So here's NYSE. We've closed back above 1903. It's very tough now. Very tough. very strong 30-minute candle. I suppose you're respecting that support from London session on the 30. You didn't close back above that exact support on the 30-minute. DXY has also been on a bit of a run here, moving up very nicely, you know, sitting at these highs, failing to break above in this session. With FOMC meeting minutes later, you may not have the volume to break above. So I think the level here you're looking at on the DXY for breaks above is 103.250. You know, that's kind of correlating with that 1900 level on gold. So if you can break and hold above that structure at 103.250, start getting nice moves here, seeing that dollar strength coming back in, may make a bit more sense for the sells here on gold. But overall, everything is just ranging right now. Anyone trading US 30, what do you think about this break and retest here? Looks like you'll also just come and sit in this range, maybe grab some more liquidity before the sell-off. Your 5-minute candle closed quite a nice rejection candle here, right before NYC, off of this London support. If this 5 closes bearish now at NYC, that could be an opportunity to give those sells another shot. Like I say, it's tough with the previous 30 being so bullish. But I think it makes sense if we reject 1903 to possibly come back down into 1900. Breakout on 1904. Yeah, even a tap into 1905 wouldn't be bad. Okay, so this candle is about to close here on the 5. Previous candle was a nice rejection candle. This bearish candle here is just confirming this resistance. So I'm gonna give these sells a shot. Yeah, close, no bottom wick. Be patient. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so if this candle breaks its own low again, I'm going to enter these sells. I'll have the same stops as last time, just above 1905. Okay, nah, it's looking tough. May still get a deeper pullback to 1905, but then I think trade ideas are looking a bit choppy. Okay, so let's hold off from these sells. Let's wait to see what price does here. See if you can maybe tap 1905. With the way it looks now, I would like us to tap 1905 before doing anything here. So you see the way that candle opened up, it pushed straight down, no top wick, and then I said, okay, just hold on. The thing is, you know, when you've got no top wick, it is pretty tough. This previous candle on my broker had no bottom wick as well. So at that point, I wanted to see some sort of top wick being formed on the new candle before I got involved there. And then you can see that saved us from that. Yeah, like I say, these rejections of 1900. Now you're getting the push with the NYSE volume. I think the sell ideas are gone, possibly. Yeah, we discussed these rejections from 1900 and the potential to move up, but the bars were super tricky. I wouldn't really want to be buying into this range or counter trending against the 4-hour and daily. Your only real confirmation for any sort of bars was just the simple fact that we rejected 1900. But you know, this move up at NYC could even be grabbing liquidity for later with the meeting minutes to get the breaks below 1900. We're still very early into this 4-hour candle. You know, if somehow this 4-hour candle comes back, flips bearish, and closes below 1900 before meeting minutes, at that point there's an extremely high probability you get a wick fill on the daily candles. The wick fill of yesterday's low. But I think for this session it's looking chalked. You're back in this range, very tough. I would have liked to have seen us maybe reject 1905 for some potential sell ideas here, but it's looking like it's gone. That 5 closed so strong. Could still be like a kind of fake out of 1905. If you look at what happened yesterday, you came up with that NYC volume. Keep in mind this was a much deeper pullback, but you came up into 1910, had this strong bullish candle close above, and then you had this next bullish candle, very weak. Then you had a bit of a resistance formed a basically a minor support right at 1910. Once you broke below that low, you know, if you were looking at the sales of 1910, that might have been a setup. And in line with the higher time frame being bearish, you know, that wasn't a bad idea for sales back down to like 1900, let's say. You know, so you could have a similar scenario in your hands if you get some sort of fake out of 1905. Like I say, 4-hour and daily being bearish. It's not unlike gold to pull back 50 pips, even 100 pips. Like I say, you're so early into this 4-hour candle, it's not unusual to see such a steep top wick, but it's such a tricky area. So you really just want to be patient and see what the price action is telling you. What's interesting here is we had this support from just after Asian close that was never retested. So you can see that once you broke below that support, you started to get nice volume to the downside. You know, we broke below 1903, didn't quite have enough volume, so maybe a pullback was needed. A top wick on the new 4-hour was needed, and you know, that's an interesting area to retest since we didn't have a retest there once you broke below that support. So this is looking more like a fake out of 1905. Fake out of 1905 just tapped that support from earlier on. That breakout zone basically on the lower time frames here. So very interesting, but you would want to be... This 5 is not really enough for me to say, okay, I'm confident in taking sales on the break of that low. Not yet. We'll see what the next 5 does. I was hoping this new 5-minute would actually wick back up into the zone and then maybe get like a double top on the 1-minute. You know, that would have been ideal. That would have given me confidence in taking the sells from up here. Otherwise, this was very aggressive. The 5-minute fake out idea was there, but it just didn't look great. I mean, the 5 actually closed still above 1905. So, you know, just be patient. Also, the new 15-minute. 15 just opened up. Yeah, so I think it would definitely have been wise to wait for a top wick here for these sales, because you may still come back and flip bullish on this candle. But if this 15 closes bearish, more specifically below 1903, then I think these sell ideas are maybe back on the table. Had a nice pullback to 1905. You know, you just need a decent confirmation. 5-minute for me is just not doing it right now. So maybe that 15 could give you a decent confirmation. Dogs are going crazy, guys. Just give me 2 seconds. Yeah, your 15-minute there flipped bullish. You know, this 5 wasn't enough of a confirmation or anything. He still had a lot of bullish momentum there. There was no confirmation for sells here off of this area. Obviously, I'm looking for some logical, sensible confirmation that does make sense for the sells in line with the 4-hour and the daily. Like I say, going to be very difficult to trade against those confirmations there. But with these rejections of 1900, it's making it pretty tough. Breaking the previous 15-minute higher, you may push to like 1908. And then I think I'll call it a session. I'm not looking for buys above 1908 or anything. I think I'll stick to these sell ideas. If they don't play out, they don't play out. Just referring back to this idea from yesterday, what we saw a close above 1910, that key level. 5-minute formed a resistance, next 5 formed a like minor support on that key level, then you broke below that support. So what are we seeing here today? We can see that we had a reaction in this area, closed bearish on the 5. Next 5 is closing bullish, so showing that you've basically formed support at 1905. So at this point, if the next 5 closes back below 1905, I think on the 1 minute you'd probably see sufficient structure to begin looking for those entries. But if you're breaking this bullish 5-minute high, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if you started to push up. And then like I say, the sells are gone. So let's see what this next 5 does. Closing below 1905. I'm interested in those sells. It's a bit of a stretch. Probably safer to wait for the 15. If the 15 closed bearish, that would be great. Breaking that high. Draw some of your magic candles. I don't have zoom annotate out here. mean, on the hour and 4 hour, this is a resistance area as well. So definitely a zone NYC could pull back to grab some liquidity. So now we're starting to get a little bit deeper into this 5 minute. You can start to see the structure playing out on the 1 minute. Wasn't quite a double top here, but you know, you get the idea. You're not just selling at the first sign of bearish candles, you're waiting for some structure to form. Yeah, Actorino, that's a good point. Okay, so this is what I want to see. As discussed, I don't know if you guys could visualize it how I was visualizing, but that's what I wanted to see. This 5 closing back below, you know, so this bullish candle is basically showing you that you had formed some sort of support here at 1905. This 5 breaking back below is showing us that this is more of a fake support, so a fake out here at 1905. Okay, so you've closed below. I don't know what's going on with my internet. Okay, so if we break that low right there, there we go, I'm in. I know we had no top wick there, but we've closed below 1905, breaking this low. I'm anticipating nice volume here. We've grabbed a lot of liquidity. You're failing to hold above 1905. Stops would be, let's call it 1907. So we're anticipating to come down to 1900 at least, and then like I say, with those breaks below 1900, if you can get below this daily low right here, you're looking good for those same targets as earlier on. Well, let's see. It's going to be ideal to see us closing bearish here on the 15 and below 1905. If we don't, it's tough, but you've tapped into this hourly resistance here. This is pretty stock standard stuff for New York. If you are going to get moves in line with the trend, to get deeper pullbacks to test some sort of structure from earlier in the day. We had that push pre-New York, a little bit into New York Open as well. No real nice pullback. So now we've had that pullback to grab liquidity. Seeing reactions from the hourly resistance there. This hourly candle is closing quite a strong bullish candle, which is tough. You are in a range here. But if you start tying it in with the 4-hour and the daily, to me, it starts to make it worth it. So at least give it a shot. So we've closed bearish on the 15. Lately we've only been seeing these moves a little bit later in the day. Yesterday you started to only really move up just on this new hourly candle. Like the second 15-minute candle, you had a real nice push. So as long as this 15 closes bearish, the next 15 should at least give us a push. Possibly back into 1900, and then I think 1900 is a very sensible break-even point for about 40 pips, and then looking to have some really nice runners here. So just looking to come back down into the support as TP1. That's very sensible. Go break even at that level. Just above 1900. But like I say, you want to be sensible here. You want to be securing profits. TP2 still yesterday's wick pull at 18 at 96.5. And then we got a TP1, TP2, and just a runner TP. I know that, some people are going to have positions where they can really close out like 4 different partials. But you can just be selective. These are some targets in mind that personally I'm looking to take off profits. I see a nice move below 1900 to like 1887. But I don't want to be greedy, you know. These days, I'm really not chasing these 100 pip trades. It's like, if they come, they come. And I'll most probably just have a run on them, securing the majority at like 50 pips. So if we can get the daily wick full, that's essentially my main target. I'm going to be securing the majority there at about 75 pips. So, you know, if that's like an issue you have where you can't close out like partials, you know, then don't be overly ambitious with your targets. Look to target something more realistic, like the daily wick full. But in this situation, understand 1900 is a very strong level. You know, I know 1-to-1, maybe that's not worth it for you. And then you got to ask yourself, you know, is this trade worth it for you? If not, don't take the trade. The new hourly candle, new 15 minutes, has just tapped 1905. So I do want to see a reaction here. I want to see a bit of a rejection. And then start to see us come down here. If this 5-minute closes very strong bullish like this, that's going to be tough as well. Definitely want to see this 5 closing below 1905. Broker link is in my bio. In the video description, sorry. Okay, seeing a bit of a rejection there from the hourly resistance at 1906. Need to see this next 1-minute closing bearish below 1905 here to show me that we are starting to get rejections. You know, stops are sensible here. It's a 30 pip stop. You know, if you don't have to take the full stop and you can manage before because of what price is telling you, then, you know, do that. So I'm just monitoring the 1 minute there to see, what price action is telling me right now. Obviously you don't want to sit in drawdown, but it happens. We've come up though, and we've tapped into this 1906 hourly resistance to the left. Seeing some rejections there, so I like the look of that. Keep in mind this 15, I want this 15 to close bearish. That'll give us confirmation that this is a resistance being formed at 1905. We had that kind of fake out setup idea on the 5. Obviously, new hour. You can get top wicks. That is expected. For me, I was willing to pull the trigger there. But nice top wick on the hour. Respecting that stop loss. Obviously, respecting the highs there. Flipping back bearish here on the 15. 5 minute also, at least not closing so strong bullish, but you've closed like a doji candle. So let's see, you got 5 minutes until the 15 close. Structure on the 1 minute looks real nice. You've kind of got that double top pattern now, even like a head and shoulders. I don't want to talk patterns, head and shoulders, this and that. The idea with those patterns is really just to understand the structure. So what a head and shoulders is really where you go from forming higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, so an uptrend, right? And then you start to fail to create new highs. So all it is really is the structure shifting bearish. So, if you ever hear me say head and shoulders, take it with a pinch of salt, because I think it's nonsense. You need to understand what exactly it is and be able to tie that in with higher time frame confluences as well. But overall, the message is really that this 1 minute structure is starting to shift more bearish. Formed a new low. So we had this low right here. Came and broke those lows. Pulled back, formed a lower high. If we can break this low here at 1903.3, we should be looking alright. Strange, they should have a demo account on there. Most brokers have demo accounts, if not all. Danny trades. Gold this week has been tough. Has been pretty tough. So I actually did start like a bit of a spreadsheet for the stream. Just so we can keep tabs on what's happening. Also for myself. So, I can add some notes here, some takeaways from the trades that I take. And then, share that kind of stuff with you guys as well. So I kind of went back on the YouTube videos, the streams from last week over the weekend, and I updated this. So yeah, I updated this just from going back. There were actually a couple trades that I didn't add here that were break evens from Friday. Just because I went back, what is the point? But I mean, still up for the week here. We got 75 pips yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, sorry, Monday. Monday, 75 pips. Last week, 75 pips for the week. But But yeah, I mean, this week so far you've just been in this range really. There was only this nice move here. I know some guys caught it at NY Open, moving down like that. We caught the pullback. We look good here for the 15-minute candle. We look real nice. And this wick up, that little wick up there, is now actually giving me a lot of confidence because I'm not expecting us to pull back again like that. As long as we can close bearish on the 15. You see, now we don't need another pullback. We really don't. So all we want to see now is the previous 15-minute low being broken. 5 closed bullish. So arguably a support is a bit tricky here. Still below 1905 as well. Next 15 is gonna run. If it's anything like yesterday, this new 15 really should be the move here. I mean, it's lined up perfectly. We've got resistance being formed. We've really confirmed that resistance now with this second bearish candle on the 15. Nice rejections here from the highs from earlier today. You know what's gonna suck is if this 5 closes bullish. I don't really like the way the 5 is looking. 15 makes sense to me. But the 5-minute is an extremely powerful time frame here in New York session. And if that's telling me one thing, then I want to be careful. We also at this 1903 level. Yeah, we need to clear this zone. I trade on MetaTrader. So right now you are literally trading between 1903 and 1905. So the 5-minute here is showing you that you're forming a little bit of a support here. For me, what I see is that we are still below 1905. I'm still trusting the 15-minute, which is in line with the 4-hour. So obviously you got the higher time frame story here as well. But if you are concerned about that 5, manage your risk. Like I say, these are just suggestions for you guys. Where's Nico? Nico was in the chat here just now. If this 5 can close bearish, then it's game time. Maybe this 15-minute candle just wanted to kiss 1905. And then we can see some rejections there. Let's see how the candle closes. Right now price is just up and down. Got the confirmations we need on the 15, so you just need to wait. Getting close, getting close, yeah. I don't want this 5 to close above 1905. You know, a weak bullish candle below 1905, it's alright. You can see on the 1 minute you had like a bit of a fake out of 1905. 1905. Yeah. Weak bullish candle there. Looks like a bit of a rejection from 1905. 15 minutes. You know, this candle's still open. 30 minutes about to close in 5 minutes. Would be ideal to see this 30-minute closing bearish. But even if it's just closing below 1905, you've respected the previous 30-minute high. So at that point, you know, we're still looking good here. Once you break this low, to come down to 1900, or at least the support 1900.8. If I hadn't taken this initial entry, I would probably be looking at an entry like this. To be honest. That's tough. Got a couple minutes, 2 minutes until the 30-minute close. So let's wait and see how that 30-minute candle closes before doing anything here. If we close above 1905, I think I'll close full and call it a day. You know, you might even come back up into 1906 again, but it's tough. I was wanting to see us respect 1905 now. You're just ranging here on the 1 minute, so we're not really seeing that nice volume come in that we wanted. There's a price difference of like half a pip from TradingView to my broker. Because I see when my broker is sitting at 1905. Okay, we closed below here on TradingView as well. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a second. I don't love that the 15 closed bullish there. I don't think that looks great. But we're still below 1905 here. He's struggling to move up. He formed some sort of support on the 5, but you can see these candles are having a very tricky time moving up. We've had nice rejections there of 1906. If this 4 hours is going to flip bearish, I'm sure this is the top wick. I don't think you need any steeper of a top wick if this candle is going to come down. It's just being a little bit of a pain in the ass here. But still respecting 1905. I think the drop is coming. Gold is just playing hard to get today. Yeah, once we break the previous 30-minute low, I'm expecting us to get a nice push here into 1900.8. At that point, 1900 it's the lows of this range. We've seen rejections here before. Regardless of how the 4-hour looks and the daily and the what and the what. Secure some partials. Actually, do what you want, chat. Do what you want. But I'm going to secure some partials. That's the lesson I've learned along the way. Take a little bit off. Be grateful for your profits. That first trade was break even, added a very low risk ended up getting slipped and took a stop loss on that. So I mean, it's like not even 0.5%, but at least I know I'm covering that. I'm covering my commissions, and I'm walking up for the day, and followed my plan. If I just secure some and we get down to the support, which makes a lot of sense, and then whatever runs here, if we get the daily wick fill, that's just going to be a beautiful bonus. Then we can say, okay, this is a great day. This is a good day. If you get down to the support, this is a great day. And this is a brilliant day. Then this is an amazing day. You got to take what the market gives you. If the market's only going to give you a good day, you can't be chasing a great day. I think we need to start doing the... No. Oops. No. Please, bro. Not now. This is a critical moment. 5 minutes closed bearish of 19.05. Basically closed below this support. I'm anticipating this next 5 to break these lows, but as long as we close bearish on this 5, now we're looking good. We do look decent here with this rejection of 19.05 now. But if you zoom into the 1 minute, you'll see, this is still an area of struggle. We need to get below that previous 30-minute low there. Still trusting the higher time frames, anticipating that the higher time frame and momentum comes in here with that previous 4-hour confirmation. But just gotta be patient. Like I say, gold just playing hard to get here today. I think we look good. I think it will at least be a good day. We'll get the good day. Hopefully it'll be a great day. And 3, 2, 1. Break the low. If and when we do break that low, 1903.2829, the previous 30-minute low, you can move your stop loss in as well, just to lessen the risk a bit. I've still got my stop loss at 1907. Volume really dead. Hope it comes back. So far it's been a relatively slow session. I mean, you had a nice move pre-New York and at COMEX. But yeah, I mean, the last couple of days you have been getting the cleaner moves in and around this time. in this hour candle. Even here on Monday, you know, to take the bars off 1903 was just insane. But you had like just nearly 100 pips clean upside from basically 4 o'clock. So this same hour candle, you're getting nice volume generally. But we need to be careful here because that 5-minute closed bullish. If this 5 breaks that bullish candle low, that is also like a setup that I look for personally. That would be what I call the Botong setup. You know, you may have heard of it as a celery, whatever you want to call it. A 3-bar play, call it a Botong. Thanks, Mr. Kutsia. So that's not that I'm taking that, I'm already in here. 15 minutes also about to close. Closing bearish. Bearish below 1904 here, let's say, is going to be pretty sweet. I mean, if you close bullish on this 15, I will just close the trade. "30-minute closing bearish should be great to retest the lows." That will be a solid confirmation. That even could be the confirmation you need at this point, because I mean, we've had bearish candles on the 15. That's not really giving you the move. So yeah, 30 minutes. That previous 30-minute was a weaker bullish candle off of 1905. So I do think that if we break that low in this time where we do see nice volume, nice cleaner moves, I think that we should get moving down to these lows at 1900. But you may only see the move actually playing out on the next 30 minutes. At this rate, I'm not really expecting a big bearish 30-minute candle here. Although it would be great, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not an ideal situation there on the 5.15. Also looks like it's about to flip bullish. Like I say, if this 15 closes bullish, I'm going to close full and I'll call it a day. Bullish above 1905, let's say. Is this new entry? No. I entered this trade at about 5 minutes to 4. What's that? 20 minutes ago? 30 minutes ago? 45 minutes ago. Yeah, you know, it's not really not really the volume you want to see if you're sitting in a trade for 45 minutes in New York session. I kind of want to be in and out of trades in like 10 minutes, you know? Okay, so your 15-minute candle closed bearish. So if this bullish candle on the 15, if you were looking at that as a support, you know, you would have wanted to see the next 15 closing bullish, right? So the fact that we've closed bearish there off 1905, looks like price is having a very tough time here at 1905. Just fucking ranging. Come on, gold. I'm holding till late on this 4 hour. Yo, that's the thing, this 4 hour has time. 3 hours until FOMC. What do you guys say? We just stream until FOMC. If every single viewer right now subs, I'll stream until FOMC meeting minutes. And we'll hold this trade for 200 pips. Take a break. Oh no, I'll need to go eat. I've still got like 2,000 calories to put away today. Fuck about that. Give me a second. Chat, I think we're looking good here. I think we're looking pretty good. You know, I don't want to be that guy streaming for like 5 hours, but at least we're not in drawdown, right? Or excessive drawdown. Sure, it's your evening routine. I can't really take this webcam with me. Otherwise I would. Maybe I'll do a day in the life. Vamos, Messi. Got some Spanish viewers here. Remember this level we discussed on the DXY, 103.25. We're back at that level, interestingly enough. Like I say, you know, once you start to get breaks above here, you can look to push to 103.5. And that's just giving you extra confirmation for gold sells. Overall, you want to follow the higher time frames. You also don't want to look at DXY and gold thinking it's a one-to-one correlation, but it does help you to build up a story here. For instance, if DXY was seeing massive rejections, massive bearish candles, then I would be very concerned of strong rejections off 1900. But we haven't seen that, right? We haven't seen that on either pair. I mean, we came into these highs, saw a bit of a pullback, saw a support form. We're back up at these highs, maintaining this bullish structure, albeit a range, right? Like I say, we're back at that level. You never want to say if or maybe, but we are at that level. It is looking decent for a potential break above here. And then gold, I mean, gold is in a range, but if DXY does give you that break, maybe that's when we see that volume kick in on gold and we see that 4-hour flipping bearish. You see, this is just a tough area on the higher time frames. You can see all of this ranging is very tough. But we're doing a pretty good job here navigating these choppy seas. I think it's been a pretty good week so far. Guys, I think let me go refuel before the new hour candle. I'm just gonna go get some water, go to the bathroom. If anyone in chat asks where I am, just tell them I'll be back in 2 minutes, right? Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, about the trade. I mean, you should know what to do at this point. In terms of risk management, if you break above the previous 15-minute high, let's say you want to manage your risk aggressively, that previous 15 closing bearish, showing us that we've got resistance here. You don't really want to see that high being broken. So like I say, that's an idea for like more aggressive risk management. Other than that, I would just wait for the hour candle to close. Then, as you can see here on the screen, TP1 and break even at 1900.8. Hold full stops, easy. You can do that if you want to. You know what, if you had to take this trade 100 times and just hold, I think more times than not you would probably be profitable. Just due to the risk to reward, I'm not saying that you're going to hit a 125 here, but let's say you were just looking for the daily wick fall. You got a 122, nearly a 123. Take that trade enough times, high probability setup. you don't need to necessarily manage on a position where you've got a good risk to reward. You see, that idea with managing risk also comes in where guys are only taking like 1-to-1s. Because if you've got a 1-to-1, right, then of course you don't want to take a full stop, because you just in the long run it's going to be very tough to be profitable that way. You'll need a really good win rate if you're actually just letting a 1-to-1 setup play out, right? But if, let's say, this trade goes against you now and you close half at -10 pips, -5 pips, then worst case scenario, you actually have more of like a 1-to-2 risk to reward. Do you get what I'm saying? So like understand different styles, different approaches. I used to take trades like this, and then like I said, it makes sense if you've got a trade like this to be a bit more aggressive with your risk management. But if you've got a good risk to reward, you can essentially just let these play out all day long. But still, listen to what price is telling you. If price is telling you get out, don't take the full stop. That would be stupid. That would just be dumb. Okay, I'll be back now. Yeah, you know what? On the lower time frames here, we are just ranging. But what I do like is that we're still above this 1905. I mean, below 1905. 30 minute? 30-minute close bearish. Not the strongest of bearish candles. U30 has no bottom, no top wick. What a baby top wick. Just gonna trust the process. It's not the trade we want, but maybe it's the trade we need. It's a character building week. Would have liked the hour candle to have closed bearish here. That would have been great. You know what's funny is, like, every time we come up to this 1905, it's right at the end of like a significant candle, like a 30-minute. Here we were coming up, and I said that 30-minute, if the 30-minute closes above 1905, I'll manage risk. That last minute of the 30 closed back below 1905. Here again, before this 15-minute, we were pulling up to 1905. Here, right before the new hour, pulled up right, tapped 1905. It's like it's just coming up to grab liquidity for the next candle to drop, and then it just ranges. I usually manage risk fast, but on this one, I trust the zones and the trend on gold. Yeah, me too. I think I really like the 4 hour. I really like the 4 hour. You know, it's not unusual to see these kind of pullbacks in New York session. 56 pips, nothing crazy. Steep top wicks on the 4 hour candles. You can see this candle, I think this was with news. But you know, you pulled back 70 pips, basically came back, closed doji. Your next 4 hour candle was bearish. You're halfway through this current 4 hour candle. So far, what's happened, we've had a tap into 1905, I mean 1900 flat. You know, maybe you've had some profit taking there. Had a pullback to retest some structure from earlier in the day. And right now you're just ranging. But it's showing me that there's not enough volume to continue moving up. So when that volume comes in, if it does, what's the likelihood it comes in line with the higher time frame trend, with the 4 hour candle, with the daily candle? It is tricky because this is a range, and you know, when price is ranging, anything can happen. But go based off the 4 hour, you know, we essentially closed below this support at 1901. So I'm still seeing this as though we grabbed some more liquidity here on this new 4 hour, and we could still flip back bearish. You know, just like this scenario right here. You had this bearish 4 hour confirming resistance. Your next 4 hour pulled back 45 pips, nearly 50 pips. Respected the previous 4 hour high, came back, closed bearish. But keep in mind now, today, why it's a trade worth holding is if this 4 hour flips back bearish and breaks its own low, we are breaking below a very significant area. And then, yeah, you know, you got really nice range to the downside here. But like I say, you don't want to be a euro and hold full position just hoping that we get that drop. I would still like to take off some profit here as we come into this support. You know, that's very sensible. This support here at 19, let's call it 1901. And then like I say, anything else, if we do break below 1900, that's just going to be a bonus. You know, you've got a nice move down here to fill yesterday's wick, 75 pips. That's still looking very good based off of the 4 hour. Yeah, rejections at 1900 have been tough. Very tough. Yeah, DXY, so we've just been touching on the DXY here. Not really getting that close above. Looks more like a rejection, just ranging. Ranging. Not enough volume. So let's just keep the focus on gold here. Still holding below 1905. Just ranging. Once we get the breaks below this previous, is it the previous hour? Previous hour low now. Then we're looking solid. Need a closure below the 5-minute range. Yeah, agreed. Below here. Yeah, closures below here, breaks below the previous hourly low. Anything like that. Basically just a breakout of this little minor range to the downside. Sorry. Lunchtime. Shitty fucking little macro range. Actarina's about to throw hands here with gold. Holy shit. Me too, sister. Counter trade you don't want to be involved in. No, exactly. You know what, like, logically, you know, when you're trading, right, emotions are a big thing. Emotions can cloud your vision, and after the fact you look at it and you're like, but I could have just closed. You know, at this point, you know, I try to be well aware of my emotions and understand that I need to focus on what price is telling me. So far, price has been respecting that 1905 level. You know, I'm cool as a cucumber. We're sitting at entries. The logical decision at this point, if I really didn't want to be in this trade, is just get out. But I do have a lot of faith in the idea here, in the setup. This is what I've been looking for throughout the day. This is what I wanted to see today. This week we discussed those closures below 1908, 1907 on the daily. Then looking for the next daily to drive down. You know, we got the closures below. Let's just do this daily. So here, 1908, 1907.5. Said if we could get closures below there on the daily, we're looking great. Look what happened yesterday. We closed below. This daily candle actually just retested that support. You know, so this is the trade that I want to be in. Look at this broker. this broker can make us happy. That 4-hour closed bearish, you got a wick to fill. It's just, you know, trading in this time, I guess I've been spoiled with the volume in this time. And I haven't been taking part in these like day trades or where you're holding trades for hours. You know, I've been in and out of trades for the last 2 months, like 10 minutes. I haven't really been holding trades for longer than an hour. So it's annoying, it's frustrating, but it's a trade that I do want to be in. I won't lie. I would have liked it to have been a trade that played out a lot faster. I would have loved to have seen nice volume in New York session. We didn't really get it. But you know, we're still in New York session. You got London close coming up in an hour or so. Low's been broken. Yeah. Okay. What did that 5-minute do? 5 closed bearish. Still in the range. We need this 5 to close below, let's say 1903.5. You know, this is also our support from London session, which makes it pretty tough. We need to get well below this zone, and then I think we'll be flying. I don't know, it's kind of useless me saying need a 5-minute close below. Obviously we do. Already in the trade, but you know, that's what I would like to see. I would like to see a 5-minute close below there. But I mean, if you hadn't entered and you still want to be a part of some sort of move here, that could kind of be what you're looking for. Close on the 5-minute below 1903.7, or let's say even the 15. Because there's 15 minutes about to close in a minute. So if you can close below that 1903.5, you know, for me that's a pretty good confirmation here to start moving down. Stops above 1905. I'm getting tired. I've been up since like 4 o'clock. Five-minute situation is not ideal. We're still in that range. 15, however, did close a nice bearish engulfing candle. So are we going to start to push on this 15? No moments. Let's close. You can close. Close. You know, if you've been here the past week or two since I started the New York session, you'll see that most of the moves I'm looking for are quick. So like I say, I mean, I've been spoiled trading New York and NYC now. Compared to London, it's a lot faster moving. You're getting really nice moves. These moves later in the session can still be very clean in New York, but sometimes they'll take longer to play out. You know, I refer to this, I think it was just yesterday, I refer to this trade. Not that I took this or anything, but just this setup, right? This was later in the day, after like London close. Because we had the pullback, we had that bearish move, we had a nice strong pullback. And then I said this is a trade that I wouldn't want to be in. Just because I don't want to sit and hold trades for so long. So I'm now in that situation. I'm kind of in the trade I don't want to be in. But the thing is, you know what? I'm not a one-dimensional trader. I've done swing trading, I've done day trading, I've done scalping, I've done hyper scalping. You know, I can do it all. If this turns into a swing trade, it is what it is. I followed my analysis. I executed on my plan. Yes, the volume wasn't really there, but it's not telling me to get out either. I could get out just based off the fact that it is low volume. But I really like what's going on the higher time frames. And I'm going to just trust my analysis. Trust what the higher time frame is telling me. And you know what? I'm in the trade, man. I'm just gonna hold it. Unless, like I say, price tells me otherwise. So yeah, it's frustrating. I've been sitting in a stupid little range here for like 45 minutes, an hour. But until price tells me to get out, I'm risking it for the biscuit. Because also the thing is, if you can get a nice move, if you can get a nice move before FOMC meeting minutes, yes, it's not a major event, right? But let's say you do happen to come and flip bearish on this 4 hour. If this 4 hour flips bearish, closes bearish before meeting minutes, at that point, I think there's an extremely high probability we get this wick for on the daily. And then, you know, my risk was worth it here. Nearly a 1 to 3. I'm happy to take that. It's 3 hours away, actually. That's crazy. Please do live stream every day. Yeah, I stream Monday to Friday. You know, some days I won't stream. I thought about not streaming today because it was meeting minutes night. So I thought I would either stream today for New York or I'd stream the meeting minutes. I ended up streaming today, but it seems like this might just turn into one long stream for FOMC. So I don't know. We'll see. Now you know what I'll do. I'm sure gold will push to 1900.8 within the next hour, let's call it. Within the next hour, we'll get to that TP1, and then what I'll do is I'll update you guys on the Discord with how I managed the rest of the position. So I'm not gonna sit here for the whole night. Gold's gonna give us that push in the next 30 minutes or so, and then, you know, we can get on with our days. How's that? So if you're not on the Discord, the link is in the video description. It's $2,000 a month. I'm joking, it's a free Discord. And then, like I said, I'll send you guys trade updates in the Discord. Essentially signals, but we don't do signals here. Someone in the chat is like, ooh, very signals. We still laugh back when Martin cried. Oh wait. Yo, bro. I'm that guy today. I'm that guy. But like I said earlier on, you know, at least we're not sitting in drawdown. Or massive drawdown. Previous 30 closed, you know, weak bearish candle. Nothing amazing. This 30-minute did break the lows. We didn't get a push. But if this candle now closes bearish, it's giving us a better confirmation that this is a resistance being formed. And then I would anticipate us to slowly start making our way down. This is enough of a resistance, enough data that has formed in this area, enough information for price to now begin its journey to TP1. I think this is the longest I've gone without eating in like 6 months. So hungry. You know, if I wasn't doing a stream right now, I would probably just get on with my day. And I would just leave the trade. Come back like 30 minutes before meeting minutes and just see. Or maybe set some alerts. Why is it not adding alerts here? You see, I would have done what Wayne did. Just said TP stop loss. Hit the road. Yeah, here comes the push on the new 30. Like I say, chat, next 30 minutes we'll get that TP1 and we'll get on with our days. It was a long wait, but I think it'll be worth it. You'll wake up tomorrow 100 pips richer. I set alerts here on my phone. This thing's not setting alerts for me. Bro. 'Kay, cool. I got my alerts set. Looks like we'll close here. 10 seconds. Let's see. Let's not jinx it. But, I mean, your 30 minutes closing bearish. There's no doubts about that. But the 5 minute, like I say, we wanted a 5 minute closure below 1903.5. There it is. Are we gonna get some volume at least? Just a little bit. Just a drop. "30 minutes is just clear as day though. What I will do at this point is I will move my stop loss in. You don't want to see this 1905 level being broken. I'll have it slightly above the previous 30. You know, that's essentially your resistance. So let's call it 1905.5. So, you know, worst case scenario, you get a massive spike, you take a 13 pip loss. But this is looking decent to give us that push down to 1900. I just want that 1900 so I can go break even, secure some in the stream, and get on with my day. You know, like I say, I didn't really plan to sit in this trade for this long, but price never told me to get out. And I'm just following my plan. Following the price action, following my higher time frame analysis as well. Letting the trade do its thing. Just was a bit of a pain in the ass in that little, what was that, like a 10 pip range or something. Yeah. Surely. 10 pip range, man. We sat in that thing for like an hour. We are finally at the light at the end of the tunnel. What did I say, chat? TP1 in 30 minutes. I said that, what, 10 minutes ago? And then that TP1, keep in mind, TP1 is essentially the 4-hour flip. And once that 4-hour flips, you know, we're looking decent. The issue is you're coming into 1900 rejection zone. That's why I'm securing partials there. But if we can hold below 1900, FOMC is going to be good. You know, these are one of those trades that you catch before the news and you catch a banger. That news then just drops like 100 pips. Sometimes it happens. You know, not always. But would be nice, right? But we need to get below 1900 before the news. I got out of a sell before news. It's not a bad shot, you know. Holding positions before news is really dangerous, very risky. But like I say, if we are below 1900, yeah, worst case scenario, you'll be up like 40 something pips before the news. So you can withstand like a 35 pip spike up and then, you know, still survive your break even point. But below 1900, like I say, just being such a significant level with the news, like I say, if we close below 1900 at the news, I would expect a push to fill this wick from yesterday. That's an extremely high probability idea. If you're below 1900 as that news is coming out, of course it depends what happens with the news. But like I say, generally the Fed meeting minutes is not a major market mover. But all I can say is if there is any reason for it to have any sort of effect, I think it's going to bring strength to the dollar just based off the fact that inflation has got to a sticky point. Because if you look at the CPR, you know, the CPR now from July was the first CPR coming out higher than the forecast in what, like a year. So we, you know, it wasn't a massive jump in inflation, But it is showing that the Fed can hold rates higher for longer. And that's more hawkish. So, anything hawkish is going to bring strength to the dollar. Yeah, you can see more hawkish than expected is good for the currency. So this Fed meeting minutes is essentially just revising what happened at the previous FOMC. There we go. Why traders care. I mean, it's all here for you guys. You guys should know this, right? It's a detailed record of the FOMC's most recent meeting, providing in-depth insights to economic blah, 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 blah. Okay, right? The only reason it's going to have a major impact is if there's any new information being brought to the table. And I think the only real new information that's going to be brought to the table is future rate hikes. I don't see the Fed coming out saying, are we looking to cut rates at the next FOMC meeting? I think that's extremely unlikely. And if there's anything to do with rate hikes, that's going to bring strength to the dollar. Dollar's already been on one. It's been trending up nicely. Gold has been bearish. It's just this 1900s level is very tricky. Very, very tricky. But anyway, that was just some fundamental insight for you guys. We are kind of out of that time of real nice volume. It's a bit later in the session. You may get like a retest of this range right here. So, I'm not surprised we're not getting straight pushes. Like I say, you might just get a retest of this range. We'll just monitor the 15 minutes. If this 15 closes bullish like that looks like a little bit of a rejection candle. So just want to be careful, but we're looking good here. As long as we hold below this 1903 zone, 1903.5. One hour closing strong bearish would be extra. That's also very true. Hey, chat is good today. Except you guys didn't remind me about the news early on. But yeah, that hour closing bearish is also a nice, very nice confirmation there. To at least come down to the support at 1901. Yeah, I'm gonna have that TP1 at 1901 flat. It's 10 pips from 1900. But you can see oftentimes we've come into 1901 just shy of 1900 and seen rejections. I'm gonna go make some coffee. Worst case scenario here, we break back above 1903.5. Okay, I'll be back now. You already know what's going on. I got the Monster Money mug just to bless us with a little bit of volume. So as you can see, while I was making my coffee, we got a bit of a push there. As you can see, price following the Monster Money arrows as drawn out here, courtesy of the best New York streamer on YouTube. You know, imagine how far I would have got if I always listened to the chat. Someone said get out of the trade, there's no volume. Like I say, if I didn't want to be in the trade, I could have got out. I wanted to be in the trade. This was the trade I wanted to be in. I would have liked it to have played out a bit faster. I've been enjoying these quick moves. As you can see, I've got ants in my pants. How long has the stream been? 3 hours. I would like to keep these streams to like hour and a half, 2 hours max. But you know what, today was an anomaly. We're not always gonna have these long streams, but when we do, you know it's gonna be a banger. We're not gonna sit here all day and draw down. It's a pleasure, bro. Superstar. I'm only here for you guys at this point. Like I say, I would have left this trade, set and forget. Someone bring me food. You know, have you seen these NPC streamers on TikTok getting paid like stupid money? Ice cream's so good. Mm. Um, 1901.5. 1901.5. We 5 pips away from that 1901. But you see here, this is what's on our mind as we move into this area, is right here. This support. I don't like that. Yeah, seeing a bit of a reaction there. You know, we're sitting pretty about 5 to 7 pips away from that TP1. I'm going to go break even at least. Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go break even and I'm gonna secure 50%. It's about 25 pips. Nothing crazy. But like I say, you got a nice runner here. If price can actually break below 1900 and then hold below there before the news, You're absolutely styling. You'll wake up tomorrow with a smile. Hey Con, Monster Money's still going? No, it's not, bro. It's not, unfortunately. You see, part of the reason was, so for those memberships, I was hosting London session, right? And, you know, London's just got super slow. London's got super slow, and I've been testing out New York, forward testing New York, and really enjoying New York session. And, you know, I'm still early into my trading career. I don't think people really see it that way, but I see it that way. I've been trading for 4 years. I don't think that's a very long time. You know, guys want to be successful overnight. Guys want to start making money tomorrow. You know, sure, I'm doing pretty well for myself, but there's still a lot for me to learn and learn about myself as well. So I discovered that, you know what, I really don't like holding trades for long. If I can, I would rather be in and out in 10 minutes and take what I need. And I have the discipline and focus to come in for an hour or two and do just that. And New York session, NYSE, is perfect for that. If you look at gold, we've been in a bit of a range the last week, but go look at gold for the last 6 months. Go look at London session. Don't even look at New York Open. Look at NYSE. Look at that 4-hour candle. It's so easy. When you start trading New York on gold, you just start to question, why do you even look at London? It's a waste of time. So, you know, that's kind of why with the memberships, I was like, I had to host London. Now, I don't want to be committed to that, to knock down to that. So overall, you know, trading is my main source of income. If memberships are limiting me in my trading career, then unfortunately it's something I have to cut off, and that's the decision I made. Yeah guys, so closed 25 pips here. Oh, let's be exact. Closed about 23 pips. You know, with that spark up and down earlier on in the cells that we were in, I'm actually about break even there with that runner for the day. I mean, so basically my runner is going to be my profit for the day. If it does anything, you know, that'll be great. But yeah, we'll see. You tapped that 1901.5. Also a tough level. This previous support right here, pretty tough area. Coming into the 1900s, you know, you can reject anywhere here. You see all these rejections. You can seriously reject anywhere here. So we took our piece of the pie. Like I say, secure some as you come into the lows of this range. And if you're lucky, you know what, if the markets are on your side today, maybe we get the breaks below 1900. And then with the news, you're looking at least for this wick for on the daily to 1896.5. That should be an easy move. And then maybe even runners down to the monthly lows at 1893. That'll be beautiful. But yeah, you know what? I did the best I could in this ranging market. Not too bad. Not too bad. So that's the day. Like I say, I will send trade updates to the Discord. The Discord link is in the video description. It's a free Discord channel. So I'll essentially send you, like, you know, I'll say if I'm closing or holding or whatever. But stop loss should be at break even at this point. If you come back to entries now, you know, you are just in a range. You probably do want to be out anyway if you come back to entries now. And then, like I say, with the news, best case scenario, we're sitting below 1900 before news, and then news gives you that push. But if you're still above 1900, news comes out, then it's a different situation, because you could get taps into 1900, reject, you know. So I'll keep you guys updated with what I do. But the stream is, I'm not going to run the stream for another 2 hours, that's for sure. Thank you guys for joining. Long ass stream, long ass day. I'm tired, I'll be honest. But I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.